and it really put my doctorate in jeopardy. I almost didn't finish my PhD because of that. And so to me, my thing was, I said, I'm not backing down from any of this bullshit, because why am I being punished because I'm smart as him or smarter? Why am I being punished because I was right and he was wrong? I'm not. We're not doing that. That's not. I'm not. No, that's not. I'm not your guy for this stuff, right? So there was a price to pay for that. But I really think, in general, a lot of us have kids. We got some of y'all got kids that are so smart, that are brilliant. And what you have to do, in my opinion, is when you have those brilliant kids, you got to set high expectations for them. And I believe those expectations have to be set without regard to what everybody else is doing. I think the quicker you can untether yourself from what mediocre people are doing, the sooner you will see the excellence that you deserve. You must untether yourself to all the mediocrity that lies around you, the lazy ass people that don't want to go do a jumping jack. You got to disconnect from that. Go get into a different culture. Do you understand how much my life changed when my wife started taking me to these run clubs? And unfortunately, they were full of white people. So I didn't understand them very much, but they were nice. I was nice and they were nice to me. But they all would run, right? And they would run for like 20 miles. And there was one guy who was 83 years old who was running, he ran like 10 marathons a year. I've never seen anything like that. Where I came from, in my culture, when you're 83, you don't run, you can barely walk to the refrigerator. This man's 83 years old running 10 marathons a year. That set a different standard when it came to health. I used to be impressed if I ran a mile, maybe two. When I got around them, I would run 4 or 5 miles, and she'd be like, "Is that all you're gonna do?" And so being around a culture that fits the person that you want to be is the quickest way for you to grow and to evolve. So if you want to pick better relationships, hang out with people that have good relationships. Talk to people who have good standards, who are getting good results in their relationships, and ask them to help you understand their culture. Like, how do you process things? Like I don't know. Like I think smart women that look at me and say, "Gosh, I'd like a husband like that," and they talk to my wife. My wife lays out a framework of how she views and processes relationships that's very different from what a lot of us see. We always joke, we always laugh. She said, I remember in college, and some of those girls were just hoes. They would just be sleeping with everybody, and I didn't understand that. And I was like, yeah, because men like me, I don't like I don't like hoes. I never wanted to marry a lady that's kind of just been everywhere with everybody all the time, in any situation, right? So what I'm saying is that standards are important. So the question I think you should ask yourself, without me get myself in trouble by telling too much of my business, is to say, ask yourself, what is your standard? And is your standard getting you what you want? Is your family standard getting you what you want from your family? Is when it comes to your health, when it comes to your wealth, when it comes to your relationships, what is your standard? If you, for example, if you're trying to have a relationship, is your standard marriage and commitment, or is your standard something else?